I did these 7 habits for 30 days. Here's what changed my life. We often hear that success is found in our daily routines, but I never truly understood the power of habits until I challenged myself to stick to 7 life-changing practices for 30 days straight. I wanted to test if small, consistent changes could create a ripple effect in my life. What followed was surprising. Not only did my productivity skyrocket, but my mental clarity, emotional balance, and sense of purpose reached new heights. Here's what happened when I did these 7 habits for 30 days, and how they changed my life. 1. Waking up at 5 a.m. The idea of waking up before sunrise always sounded romantic in theory and torturous in practice. But after reading countless testimonials from high achievers who swore by early mornings, I gave it a shot. The first week was hard. My body protested, and my bed felt like a sanctuary. I didn't want to leave. But by the second week, I began to enjoy the silence and solitude that 5 a.m. offered. I used the extra time to plan my day, meditate, and do a bit of reading. That head start gave me a sense of control over my day instead of reacting to it. Over the 30 days, I noticed I was calmer, focused, and productive. Early rising alone didn't solve all my problems, but it created a foundation of discipline that influenced every other habit. 2. Daily exercise, even just 20 minutes. Exercise wasn't new to me, but consistency was. For 30 days, I committed to moving my body for at least 20 minutes, whether it was a brisk walk, a home workout, yoga, or weightlifting. I didn't aim for perfection, just daily movement. The benefits were immediate. I felt more energized during the day and slept better at night. My mood improved, and I found myself craving healthier food. Most importantly, I learned that movement is a form of self-respect. Even on low-energy days, simply honoring my commitment to move made me feel accomplished. 3. Journaling every night. Journaling had always felt like a nice idea I never had time for, but once I committed to writing every night, even if it was just a few lines, I realized how much mental clutter I had been carrying. Through journaling, I gained clarity on my thoughts, processed emotions better, and began to see patterns in my behavior. It became a form of therapy. Some nights I wrote about my wins, others I vented frustrations. Either way, the act of reflecting gave me insight and peace of mind that I hadn't expected. 4. No social media before 10 a.m. or after 9 p.m. Social media was one of my biggest time wasters, and I didn't even realize how much it affected my mood and attention span until I set strict time boundaries. For 30 days, I avoided social apps for the first few and last few hours of my day. Initially, it felt like I was missing out, but once the urge passed, I noticed I was less anxious, less distracted, and more present. Mornings became sacred again, and nights were reserved for winding down instead of doom scrolling. This habit alone gave me back hours of my life every week. 5. Reading at least 10 pages a day. I love books, but like many people, I'd fallen into the trap of buying more than I read. So I challenged myself to read at least 10 pages a day. No excuses. The key was consistency, not speed. By the end of the 30 days, I had completed 2 books and learned more than I had in the last 3 months combined. More importantly, I found myself inspired and more creative. Reading became a mental workout that expanded my perspective and reminded me that learning never stops. 6. Drinking a gallon of water daily. This one seemed simple, but staying hydrated required more planning than I expected. I carried a big water bottle with me everywhere and made sure to sip throughout the day. The benefits were undeniable. My skin cleared up, my energy levels were steadier, and I experienced fewer headaches. I also noticed less mindless snacking, as dehydration often masquerades as hunger. This habit improved both my physical health and my mental clarity. 7. Practicing gratitude. Every night before bed, I wrote down 3 things I was grateful for. At first, it felt repetitive: family, health, roof over my head. But as the days went on, I began to appreciate the smaller moments: a stranger's kindness, a good conversation, or even the quietness of a peaceful evening. Gratitude rewired my brain. Instead of focusing on what was missing, I began to see how much I already had. This shift in mindset made me more optimistic, resilient, and content with my current stage in life. What changed after 30 days? By the end of the 30 days, I didn't become a superhero or an overnight success story, but something much more valuable happened. I transformed how I viewed discipline, time, and self-care. These small habits, done consistently, built momentum. My productivity improved, my anxiety lessened, and I felt more in control of my life. The biggest lesson I learned: you don't need to overhaul your entire life to see change. You just need to start. Focus on small wins, and they compound into big results. It's not about intensity, but consistency. That's where the magic lies. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. If you're feeling stuck, burnt out, or just needing a reset, try a 30-day habit challenge. Start with 1 or 2 if 7 feels overwhelming. Track your progress, celebrate the small victories, and most importantly, be kind to yourself during the process. Change doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen when you show up every day with intention. These 7 habits didn't just change my days, they changed my life. 30 days is all it took to feel a shift, not just in my schedule, but in my mindset, body, and sense of purpose. The challenge reminded me that we are the sum of our daily actions. If you want to reclaim control of your time, mental health, or energy, try adopting these habits and watch how your life begins to change, one day at a time. Let me know in the comments section below. What do you think of our video? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel before you go. Thank you for watching.